Honest J. Nowak. Oh yeah. A pleasure to meet y'all at last, and welcome back to Honest J. Nowak. So today here on Honest J. Nowak, let me go on ahead and simply move on from some of those other topics that I just had to bring up here in the series to something that's been a little bit more requested. This episode is going to be about controllers. And I'm mostly going to be speaking of the types of controllers that would come with certain game consoles or whatnot, but in a certain way, controllers are everywhere. We happen to use them for a variety of different uses, but in the most part, we happen to have controllers that happen to, well, function things out there, including smart houses or the usage of certain other electronic devices like drones or other remote controlled objects out there that we commonly use. And not to mention, we've also got the controllers for certain game consoles, including the Sony's PlayStation, all four models with the fifth one coming soon, all the Xbox models, including the original from 2000, as well as the 360, the One, and eventually the Scarlet as well. So that's just pretty much what controllers are as a basis. But of course, depending on the type of item that you happen to own that comes with its own controller, then well, just know that every controller happens to be different. Not everybody seems to emulate the same amount of button layouts as well as stick uses that every other controller might have. Of course, if you're fond with a PlayStation, then well, you'd probably know that its signature M-like shape, of which that it has downward facing handles for you to grab onto, two joysticks, a D-pad on the left, and four buttons on the right, as well as a start button and a select button, as well as four other buttons on the top, which will allow you to perform different functions out there. And it's something that Sony continues to utilize to this day. They use the same button layout with slightly different designs in every new generation of the PlayStation controller. Of course, with the PlayStation 4, its controller is probably one of the best. But the way I see it, the first time I ever held an Xbox One controller, it was by far the best thing I might have ever held in my hands. The fact that it had very ergonomic sort of type looks to it, at the same time that the button layouts were pretty much as precise as the Sony's PlayStation 4, but it seems that the Xbox One happens to trump the PlayStation 4's ergonomic texture and derivative pretty well. But at the same time, there are a lot of other controllers out there, including an Atari controller. The 2600, the 5200, the 7800 controllers out there, they all happen to utilize the basic joystick, as well as buttons, which is pretty much all they got. But in other controllers, it can be different, depending on what console it is that you end up getting. Me personally, I would like to know what controllers out there you happen to use. So, I would encourage you to go ahead and just drop down a little story of yours, but it's all the same, really. There's not a lot of attention going on around the whole thing itself, so, oh yeah, why would I even bother? So if you want to see more, go down to my channel. Make sure that you like, subscribe, comment, follow me on social media, and stay on the Hollywood side.